Now joining us here in the studio with his analysis on Attorney General Mandelblat's recommendations is Israeli criminal and white-collar defense lawyer Sharon Nahari. Sharon, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so my first question to you is actually kind of maybe a clarification. And I know we talked about this a little bit before, but when the Attorney General says, we're going to indict pending a hearing, if the hearing's not going to happen and it's pending a hearing that you're going to indict, why not wait until after the hearing to say that you're going to have an indictment?
Well, first, it was a dramatic attempt to prevent the General Attorney today to make an announcement by the Likud. An hour ago, I think the Supreme Court demolished the case, say that there is no case, no ground to do it. Mm-hmm. We need to understand that before the Attorney General will announce about the indictment, it must be a hearing.
Right.
You have to do a hearing for a suspect that he is involved in crime. You cannot indict someone without a hearing. So it's always a subject to hearing. You can say that you're going to indict him for bribe and breach of trust, etc., but subject to hearing, which is a tricky thing, because if you say that you're going to indict him, it means that you already read the file. Right. And you have an instinct what to do. So why do you need a hearing? But on the other side, sometimes on a hearing, the prosecutors and also the lawyers argue, and sometimes they close the case.
They might settle it beforehand.
They might settle it or close it before.
I see. All right. So procedurally speaking, assuming that that Mandelblat says yes, we're going to indict pending a hearing, right? Assuming that he says that, what happens next between now and that hearing, which I believe is scheduled for after elections?
Yes. Now, some of the people said that according to this announcement, it's hurt the Prime Minister, because the election is coming, and the announcement itself can hurt the public to elect Mr. Netanyahu.
Sure.
So the first proceeding is to take all the material of the evidence, to study it, and then to have a date for the hearing with the prosecutor and the lawyers. After the hearing, after they argue, they get inside the evidence, each case and each evidence, and after they argue, they decide to close the case, to make a plea bargaining, to indict him.
I see.
This is the proceeding.
Okay, and so what should Israelis expect, though? Should they expect, because I know Mandelblat said that he would not likely give out the materials of this case ahead of the elections in order to avoid that kind of situation. So again, it kind of begs the question.
Yeah, but the announcement itself make a big damage.
Exactly. So that's kind of where I was going at.
Big damage, even though people that want to vote to Netanyahu.
So do you agree with the Likud?
Maybe they will not do it now.
So do you agree maybe with the Likud and their petition that was just recently shot down?
I agree with the Likud, but the High Court cannot do these things. It's very hard to prevent from the Attorney General to announce. But what I support at the past is the French law to do the same in Israel. The French law say that you cannot investigate a prime minister on his duty. Only if there are exceptions, such as rape, drugs, terror, etc. Murder, yes. So what they do over there, they freeze the statute of limitation, that the crime will not finish. And after he finished the job, they start to investigate and to indict.
And that's how you see this playing out? Because Netanyahu already said that even if he's indicted, he's not going to step down. Yes,
but there is a big problem, because it's hurt his reputation, it's hurt his duty. And who suffer from that? The public. We suffer from all this damage that the announcement make for Netanyahu, and all the procedures now he need to do with the lawyers and to study the evidence. It can wait. Why not to wait after he finished the 4 years? This is not problem. They do it in France.
All right. Well, I'd love to hear a good answer
What's
to that question.
the problem? It's not such a serious crime that it is dangerous to the public that he cannot do his duty.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I guess we're gonna see very soon whether or not
Yes.
how this all plays out in the public. Sharon, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in again.